Hey everybody, this is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. So if you're looking for Vespa parts and accessories, you know where to go, ScooterWest.com. So today I'm going to show you how to change the air filter on your Primavera or Sprint 150. It's really similar on the 50cc. Actually, it's really similar on all the modern Vespas, but specifically on the Sprint, I'm going to show you all the techniques I'll use to change out this filter. It's a little tricky if you've never done it before. There's a couple of hidden screws. Of course, I'm changing it on this beautiful, incredible Hulk green Sprint right here, only available in 1 year. It's the second best color after orange, because you know my favorite color on the scooter is orange, of course. All right, let's get right to it. So most Vespas, modern Vespas, they use a foam air filter element. Certainly you can take it apart and wash it and clean it. As they age, as you would expect with anything foam or like rubber, it starts deteriorating. And the last thing you don't want is the deteriorated foam going into the engine. So that's not a good situation. Very inexpensive just to buy the factory original air filter that's already pre-oiled. These foam elements there, you oil, saturate the foam, and that's what captures the dirt. So I'd recommend the original Piaggio part, B0180700P for premium. We have other options available, including ones that flow freer from Melosi. Those are great. They do flow freer, but you know, with freer flow and air filter, of course, you let more dirt through. The OEM one is going to be your best bet for engine longevity, and the premium one is already pre-oiled, so ready to go to install. If you buy the lower grade filter, you're going to need to oil it, and you could check out some of my past videos on how to oil a foam element. This is the air box located on your left side of the scooter, right above the belt cover. And I'll tell you, there's only 2 fasteners you can kind of see. The other 4 fasteners are practically hidden. One's, just barely visible right here. The other 3 on the top are hidden, and I'll show you the tricks to getting those free. So you need to start with a Phillips screwdriver. Pretty straightforward, just number 2 Phillips. Even your toolkit with the scooter is going to have that. And we'll start with these. And I would recommend maybe magnetizing the tip of the screwdriver. The screws tend to want to stay with the air box. Let's see, I have enough magnetism. I pulled the 1 screw out, pull the 2nd screw out. So the bottom 3 screws are going to be all the same style. These are a special type of screw. It's got a really coarse thread that self-taps into the plastic air box. And then you got one that's located up here. It's a little bit difficult to get to. You could disconnect the shock. If you have a lowered scooter, it's definitely impossible to get to. I'd recommend disconnecting this rear shock and then jacking up the center of the bike. You can see my prior videos on how to lift or jack up a modern Vespa and what tools are needed. You know, the scissor jack, for instance, to drop the motor. That definitely makes it a little easier, but I'm just trying to show how to do this if you're doing this, for instance, on the ground. So you have that last screw. I put a little bit of tape right there. The reason being is because I am dragging the screwdriver against the bodywork, and you don't want to chip the paint just for doing some simple job like checking your air filter, replacing it. So, of course, I'm going in there blind. You kind of got to find a screw because it's pretty far in that well as well. So there we go. And once the screwdriver catches the screw, then you can pull it out. There you go. So you got 3 of the same. We're going to get the camera angle from the top and remove the remaining 3 screws. So I'm going to lower the scooter, open the seat. All right, so remove your underseat pet carrier or the bucket. And now you see the guts of the motor underneath here. The camera's not going to 100% get the 3 fasteners, but you have a fastener right here and right here, and then one that's a little further back up here. And if you put your fingers on them, I put gloves on right here, you could feel that they're like a wing nut, but there's no way to really ever get enough leverage on those wing nuts to loosen them for the first time. So I always find they're pretty tight. So I'd recommend a tool such as this. This is a pretty fancy version of it. It's called the Easy Red, and it's a little right angle shallow ratchet. As the saying goes, there's like 20 different ways to skin the cat, but this is definitely the easiest way to do it. And I'm going to try to stay out of the angle. They're not all that torqued in there, but you want to find that at the very center of that little knob is a Phillips head. And once you get the tool on there, you can start ratcheting each of those screws off. And once you get a couple turns, you'll find that they're hand tight. So I'll pull this first one out right here. So the thumb screw or the finger screw does come in handy. So the center one looks like that. There are some longer ones on there, so keep track of where they go. Move on to the frontmost one. I find this one is best if you get your ratchet from underneath, and I'll get my hand on the kind of practice center. And of course my hand's completely in the way of the camera, but get that started and just get right in there and pull the frontmost fastener out, and you'll find it's the same size. Of course I always leave the most difficult one, the last one, for last here. That one's located right back here. And again, you want to get the ratchet on there, kind of get a good angle, kind of feel your way around. So, you know, just take some practice. And once you get it loosened a few turns, then I can get my hand on there and start unscrew this fastener here. So, and you'll find out that this one is a nice long one. So the rearmost one is a long thumb screw, as they call it. All right, so now the cover is going to pop off. So you can see kind of pulls away. You'll see that there's a rubber boot that connects the airbox cover. I'd recommend having a new zip tie if you want to separate the airbox cover from this boot. This is the nice thing about these Sprints and Primaveras, is they do breathe from underneath the seat. So go ahead and cut the zip tie, and this will make the job just a little bit easier. So you kind of roll this rubber bellow that connects to the airbox lid off the little spigot. And one last thing, if you're wondering how often the factory recommendation for checking this air filter, cleaning and replacing every 6,000 miles or 10,000 kilometers is the interval. So that's every time you do an oil change, the belt, all the valve adjustment, all that stuff on these scooters. So I move the cover from the middle of the scooter frame to the back, and it drops right out. And you can see the filters right in here. I didn't use a very good example because this is a pretty low miles scooter. It's not at 6,000 miles, but does have a small amount of use. You know, you can see a couple hairs in there, and we'll take the brand new filter and we'll drop that right in. And you can see it's on these is very simple. It drops right onto that little cavity. If this inside cover is very dirty, this is a perfect time to take this cover and clean the inside of this filter. You know, a filter box, this one's in really good shape and clean before you put it all back together. And I have gloves on because it is going to be a little bit gooey and sticky. And you can see it's kind of takes shape of a brand new piece of foam. Can pull that out, and you just want to make sure you drop it all onto these pegs, on the cover itself. One last little tip. If you have a lot of oil leaking from the air filter onto your belt cover and making an oily mess, it's not a surprise because the crankcase ventilation on all these motors sometimes puts oil vapors into the airbox, especially if you're using the scooter at higher speeds. So on the airbox, which is the mating half of this box, there's a rubber seal that goes all the way around the perimeter, and you could typically use a knife to pry that little rubber seal out. And that part is a spare part that's replaceable. And look in the description of this video, I'll have the part number for that rubber seal if you ever do need to replace it. Typically, you don't need to service that part. Starting from the back side, then go ahead and slide the airbox all the way towards the front. Make sure it's all lined up. And we'll disregard that boot for right now. We'll take the center shorter thumb screw and start it on this upper. And you don't necessarily need the tool to reinstall these. Just do them as tight as you can do them with your fingers. And that's typically tight enough. So, you know, it takes a little bit, but sometimes it's even easier with the tool because you can get a little quicker action on it. And at this point, I'd go below and put the centermost screw. All right, so put one of the screws on the center of your screwdriver, and you kind of got to feel your way around in that well. Tighten that, and we'll just go ahead and do the same with the other two standard style screws. And the last one, the more difficult screw. Kind of feel your way around. There we go. So once it drops in, and it's pretty important that you have these all the way secured, not over tighten. I'm not cranking on these screws because they do thread into plastic. It's very easy to strip these out. If you do strip them out, I would just go to the next larger size screw. So right there, that's all it took. I didn't give it a crank, I just felt the screw stop and that was it. And at this point I could pull the tape off here. Then we'll return to the top and do the last two screws. So the long thumb screw, feel your way around to the back of the airbox. There you go, that's about as tight as it needs to go. And then the last short thumb screw towards the front. So you can see it just started right there. And I'm gonna cheat and get my little tool on here. And I'm pretty much just ratcheting the thumb screw right there so it goes nice and quick. So after you get all the fasteners in place, you want to take this rubber boot and go ahead and situate it back onto this spigot. And it takes a little bit of effort because you're working in confined space. I'm trying to keep my head out of the camera here. So you work that boot all the way onto that spigot, and then you want to take a good sized zip tie. It can be like a 10, 11 inch one. It doesn't need to be a 14-inch zip tie. Go all the way around. And take some diagonal pliers or clippers right there and go ahead and cut the excess of the zip tie. Hopefully this video helped you out, gave you some ideas and tips on how to easily change the filter on your Sprint or your Primavera. Pretty much also applies to anything else with a Piaggio 150 motor, and it's very similar on the older models such as an LX GT4 or the larger models such as a GTS. So look for the next video. I'm going to do it on a GTS, pretty much all the same steps. Thanks for watching. This is Robot here from Vespa Motorsport and ScooterWest.com. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Over 600 videos all about Vespas. See you next time.